Okay, firstly, your name and what is your participation?
My name is Alex Sufit, and my music video Gentleman in Squalor is screening at the festival.
Okay, firstly, what is your short film about?
It's an homage to Bugsy Malone, which is a 1976 film musical by Alan Parker, and my music video is inspired by Bugsy Malone and Oliver Twist. So it's quite a British film, but it's also involves some child gangsters set in the 1920s and in the Prohibition era.
Okay, how did you come up with the idea of doing this short film?
Well, the band Top Shelf Jazz are kind of part of a movement in London at the moment called Filthy Swing, and it's got quite a retro feel to it. So I thought it would be really nice to do something that would have that kind of atmosphere, would have like the Prohibition era, the 1920s. And also it's about trust fund babies, so rich kids. And I thought about taking the idea literally and having children in the music video instead of adults, squandering their money by playing poker and drinking champagne. I've got children between the ages of 7 and 12.
Okay, and how did you develop the creational process?
Well, it starts always with just a kernel of an idea, a little gem that goes in your head and plays over and over. And then I storyboarded. I do a lot of storyboards. I really like that. And I actually wrote a script. So it was a little bit my idea to make it feel as though it was lifted out of a feature film, some of the images. So it's not a straightforward music video. It's got a bit of a story and a narrative. So I wrote a script for that, and I storyboarded some of the shots that we were going to do, and took it from there.
And how is it to work with children?
Well, they say you should never work with children and animals. That's the number one rule of filmmaking, but I've done both repeatedly. And if I'm honest, sometimes I find it easier to work with kids than grown-ups because they're very natural and they're so keen and they're so excited with the idea of being in front of a film camera that if you give them a sense of responsibility and you don't make them feel like they're kids, then you've actually got professionals on your film set.
Mm-hmm. And what has represented for you to have your short film in the opening session of the film festival?
Well, it's an incredible privilege. I mean, it's really, really an impressive festival. I've never been here before, so I knew very little about the festival other than it been going, and this is it's for a long time. It's 38th year, and I arrived yesterday, and there's this amazing Art Deco style cinema, and it was part of a series of some, I thought, really beautiful, very, very strong films. So to be honest, it felt like a really big privilege, and I'm really grateful and incredibly pleased to be here and to be invited by the festival to screen.
And talking about the film, where has the short film traveled until today?
A lot of places. Oh my God. I think it's screened at something like 30 or 40 festivals worldwide. I would struggle to name you a country that it hasn't screened in. It's picked up some awards along the way. We won the jury prize in Sacramento at the Film and Music Festival there. And we got the Van Gogh Prize in World Cinema at the Amsterdam Film Festival, and some other prizes as well. But so the list is getting quite long, and it's amazing as a director because you work so hard, behind the scenes. It's not, these are the glamorous moments, but behind the scenes we all work really hard, and it's a big slog. So when your film is screened at great festivals and it goes around the world, and when you win awards, it just feels like it gives you the encouragement to keep going, because you think, okay, maybe I've got a bit of talent, maybe I should keep making films.
And in your opinion, what is the point of festivals like this? Are they necessarily?
They're vital. I mean, they are so important because it's a chance to network, it's a chance to have your work seen by an audience that's live, that's there, that's having a physical reaction to your film. You know, I love it when I see Gentleman Squalor screened. I don't so much watch my own film as watch the audience's reaction, and it's really lovely when the audience laugh because there's a little girl pretending to be drunk with champagne in the music video, and that's really wonderful, and it's really special to be able to sort of see that reaction and meet other filmmakers from all around the world, of course, and meet the festival directors and organizers who, you know, are themselves either working in film or passionate about film. And those are the kinds of people that inspire you.
And are the short films well treated? I mean, do we care enough about short films?
Well, I think you're asking the wrong person in a way, because I'm always going to say we should care more. I mean, I do a lot of short form. I've done a lot of narrative, fictional short films. I love making music videos. It's my great love. We come from a very musical family. So I love making music videos. I do commercials now, and I'm slowly but surely trying to develop my first feature film. But I think every form has its own beauty. I mean, whether you make a commercial, there's a big challenge for a filmmaker in delivering a message in 30 seconds. And working with music and music videos is another pleasure. And feature films, of course, have got a whole life of their own. So I think every form of filmmaking is incredibly important. You develop your craft, you learn how to hone ideas into a condensed period of time. So I think short films, without them, I mean, how can we go on to features? How do we learn our craft as filmmakers? There's no other way. So I think they're incredibly important, not just for us, but also for an audience who get to discover you through your short films, really.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the actors in the film.
So you've got a lot of children in the film who had no previous experience of working on camera. So it's the first time they're on a film set. But you also have the bartender, and the bartender is played by Dexter Fletcher. Dexter Fletcher is a really well-known British actor. He was in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and a very famous TV series called Press Gang. And in Bugsy Malone, this was his first film role when he was 6 years old. And when I was thinking of making this film, and I knew it was going to be an homage to Bugsy Malone, I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if Dexter Fletcher could be in it? Because he's such a cute character. He plays a kid called Babyface in the original Alan Parker film. So I thought it'd be great if we could have him in it, but I didn't know Dexter Fletcher. So a friend of a friend of a friend knew his agent, who obviously worked for Dexter. And by some miracle, my email got through to him. The agent passed it on. He saw my previous work and called me up and decided that he would be in it. But it was a very strange experience because it's such a familiar voice to me as a British English person, his voice, that when the mobile started going and I heard his voice, it was like the TV was speaking to me, because you're thinking, this is very, very strange. It's such a familiar sounding voice. So it was amazing that he agreed to take part. And I still owe him a bacon sandwich for that. That was the deal, but he hasn't claimed it.
Okay, do you want to add something else? Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.